and talk to you about the government shutdown and what that means for home care. Let me finish logging in over here. Um, what the government, I'm gonna put actually let me put this in the comment. Hey, let me pin this comment. The government shutdown, the government shutdown 2025 and what this means for home care. For home care and home health care. Okay. All right. Now I can pin it. Oh, I'm going to pin it. Okay. So hopefully somebody will see it. Okay, cool. All right. So for those of you who are joining, if you can please help me out and let me know where you're watching me from as we go over this topic tonight. Let me know where you're watching me from. Uh-uh. Let me know where you're watching me from. And let me know also if you've been wondering like how the government shutdown will affect, if it does, the home care industry. And like I said, I'm just finishing up uh, logging in. So one more thing, and then we're gonna get started. My thing. Okay, here it is. All right. I just want to jump right into it. So if you have been on the news or I'll close my screen. If you've been on the news or if you've been on the internet, you know that there was uh, the federal government has officially shut down today. And what that means for home care, home health care agency is that essentially it means that it affects, uh-oh, it's blocking my YouTube. It affects federal agencies, guys, but Medicare and Medicaid are still running. So, all right. So that is everything out front. All right. So with how does it affect home care, home health care? Medicare and Medicaid are still running. The main impact that the shutdown has on um, home care and home health care agencies will be delays, right? But I kind of said that at the end of the summer, right around when the big OBB, the one big beautiful bill, was being approved, released. I said things are going to take a longer time. I said that even when they first start putting out the RIFs and the layoffs, I said things are going to take a longer time. And so and that could affect you getting licensed. That could affect your claims. That could affect you e-verifies now. Thank you. I'm write that down. E-verifies now. Thank you so much. E-verifies now. Okay. So on TikTok, no surveys taking place now. Absolutely. Right. So Medicaid still runs because essentially Medicaid and Medicare are already funded, right? Unlike other federal agencies, Medicare and Medicaid don't stop because the government shut down. Just like if like I'm here in the DMV, right? And so I have some family members, I have some people I know, they are essential workers. Well, guess what? There are essential programs that will continue to get paid even during the government shutdown, right? So again, I want to throw it out here. I want to let you know what to expect. Number one, delays. Number two, slower responses. So let's say, hey, Connecticut, how are you? Let's say that you submitted your application to get credentialed through Medicaid, or you submitted an application to get credentialed through Medicare Advantage or something like that. Remember, I said it's going to take a longer period of time. Now, what if you're already approved and you have an issue with your claim, right? They're going to take a longer period of time to do your claims adjustment. They're going to take a longer period of time to even give you that additional money or to make that correction. You may have cash flow challenges, right? Now, a lot of people always ask me this, and I even got asked this question earlier today. Sean, aka Savvy, what if I have $40,000 to starting my home health care agency? I have a live on YouTube where I say, how much money do you really need to start? And I break it down by the different types of home care agency licenses. So I always said that when I first started, I didn't really have cash flow issues, right? So the anxiety that you guys have about being able to meet payroll, being able to have enough money, I'll tell you the truth. I was working as I was building my business. And I think that really helped me to spend more wisely, right? I didn't come from money. So now, when I started to get large sums of it through my home health care business, I spent it much more wisely versus having a stack and being able to, right? Right. So, but you're with me saying that, the first time I had a cash flow issue was when I got a government contract, right? So I got a local government contract with the state, and they did not pay me as fast as Medicaid, as my private pay, as my workers' comp cases, as my supplemental insurance. They didn't pay me as fast. So I literally did the work for 30 days, then had to submit my invoice, and then after submitting the invoice, somebody had to process it. So my first payment took about 90 days, and I was like, whoa, what is going on? Thankfully, I had a lot of other money coming in from other places. Okay, I will address that in just a sec. It's so many steps. I'm so lost. Okay, so really quick, I want to address that Angel on TikTok is saying it's so many steps. I'm so lost. What state are you in, Angel? And if you're watching me for the first time, you don't have to be lost. You don't have to confuse yourself by going through everybody's video on YouTube. You don't have to confuse yourself by doing random searches on Google. I think for some of you, too much information it's maybe crippling you. I do have a free FREE $0 webinar that I did. I was trying to play on home care for I don't want to say the rest because it's trademarked, but it starts with a D, right? And I was really just trying to break down to people what they need to do to get started. And so that webinar is free and it comes with my 21 checklist, my 21 step checklist. So even though we're not really talking about that tonight, if you can go click the link in my bio and watch that training for free if you're getting started. And also remember, we have the home care startup to stack up conference starting. So let me stay a little bit focused, guys. You're asking some great questions, but I really want to get through the government, how the federal government shutdown 2025 can or maybe will affect home care and home health care businesses. So Medicare and Medicaid claims and processing payments continue. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Medicare, and this is the main thing, right? You guys need to lock into that. Medicare and Medicaid claims processing continues. This is why I said we are as close to recession proof. If we ain't recession proof, we are surely recession resistant in this industry. Imagine the federal agencies that are shutting down, but healthcare still keeps on. We keep on keeping on. That's why I love us. That's why I love us. They not like us, right? Those other industries, we made it through COVID. Boom, right? We ain't need no bailout. Airline industry, restaurant industry, right? Stores shutting down. We we can even make it through government shutdowns. All right. But I need you guys to work on your fear because you got a lot of it. And that's why I came on here to give you some information. Okay. Remember, Medicare and Medicaid continue, right? You still submitting your payments, processing continues. In fact, what I would like for you to do is if you had a bad habit, and I call it a bad habit of submitting your claims every 2 weeks, once a month, I want you to now change that to weekly. Now you may say, but Sean, I pay someone to do my billing. Because we can expect things to take a little bit longer, maybe for processing. Yes, we do. Then I want you to get ahead of any delays, right? Because we don't want you to have a cash flow issue. Cash flow issue can be on the government on the shutdown, but it can also be on you because you don't have a good, consistent regiment of submitting your claims, right? So I want you to fix that. Clients will keep their coverage. Okay, government shutdowns don't mean people are going to get cut with their services, right? People are not getting cut. Now, someone on TikTok said they can't go to e-verify, right? So e-verify, for those of you who don't know, that's where we have to go to check to make sure that someone who has Medicaid waiver program, Medicaid MCO, make sure that they are still eligible, right? If you're a good, smart home care business owner, you check that every day, right? And so she said it was down. Now, I'm not really worried about it being down because it was, remember when they had did something like this before over the summer, and they said SNAP benefits went down. It's going to come back up. It's going to come back up. So I wouldn't be too concerned. And I would definitely document, maybe print out that you checked and timestamp that you checked on that day and it was down. So I would definitely do some documentation that you are regularly checking even when the system is down. So that's how I would CYA myself. Okay. So um clients will keep Medicaid. You will continue to be able to process your claims and payments continue, right? Because even though they haven't been able to agree on the budget, right? Medicaid and Medicare funds have already been allotted, right? Clients will keep their coverage. No one's getting their coverage cut, right? No disruption to benefits. Can we type that in the comments? No disruption to benefits. So essentially, CMS functions like claims and support will remain operational, right? That they will remain operational during this period. And I was listening to the news a little bit, and the Democrats were saying, they're aiming for that this is resolved by their next pay period, and they get paid on a monthly basis, right? Um, for all my Christian business owners, my faith-based business owners, let's pray about it, right? We always say make prayer our strategy, right? I say while we're getting informed, let's also pray about it, right? Nothing wrong with that. Hey God, make sure I don't miss a beat during this time. That's the way I roll, right? I know how to I know how to function both ways, right? I know how to function by being in compliance, doing uh, running payroll, doing my billing, but I also know how to be like, God, give me the wisdom for how to handle this, and make sure my agency is set apart. Even if other agencies are not doing well, check on your girl. Make sure your girl is good. Okay. Okay, so what should you be doing right now? All right. Now, this is going to be information to you if you're not a home health care business owner. You could just listen in, right? Hopefully this doesn't happen to you, right? But let's give a shout out to all of the things that you don't even know could affect your business, right? Like a government shutdown, right? What your home care agency should be doing right now. I already mentioned one. Submit all your claims ASAP. Submit your claims. Submit all of your claims ASAP. Don't leave billing pending, right? Again, if you have someone that does your billing, get on the phone with them tomorrow. Get on the phone with them tomorrow to say, hey, I'm sending some things over to you. I want you to start doing smaller batches, right? If you're worried about the fee they charge you every time they do billing, would you rather you not get paid? Sorry, I got to put it like that. But submit all your claims. It's the first of the month. So you need to submit all of your claims ASAP, and you don't need to be holding on. You don't need to have billing pending. Speed up your billing submission, right? All right. Okay, verify all your October authorizations with the MCOs, with the waiver programs, and Medicare Advantage. Okay, so between tomorrow, which is Thursday, and Friday, you need to be on the phone, calling billing, contacting pre-authorizations, for the MCOs if you service clients who are in an MCO, the Medicaid waiver programs, and Medicare Advantage. Okay, give me a second. I will get to your questions. I don't want to get off track while I'm giving you guys these tips. You guys on TikTok always always ask some great questions. So I really appreciate so don't be discouraged if I don't answer it right away, okay? Please. All right. Verify October authorizations. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Medicare Advantage, which we'll say Medicare Advantage, Medicaid. Medicaid has Medicaid waivers, and then they have Medicaid MCOs. Before you can provide services to the client, you need a pre-authorization. You get a pre-authorization number that you use with your billing. So, and that gives you the authorization to be able to bill for a certain time period for a certain amount of hours a day, specifically for that client. So just giving you some little understanding of what I mean if you haven't encountered that yet. So you want to make sure that you do verify all of your October authorizations. If they haven't ended yet, you want to verify that all is well. And you want to do your upcoming authorizations well in advance, right? So if you're used to doing 3 days, let's try for a week or two in advance, right? Why? Because I already told you at the beginning, expect delays, right? So why would you want to do things the way that you were doing before in this environment, and then you unfortunately get a delay? And guess what? That would now affect you being able to service your client because you won't get billed. You won't be able to bill underneath the old pre-authorization. Cool. All right. Check cash reserves. Now, one of my CFOs always told me, Sean, it's better to get money when you already have money. And man, that was the best advice he could give me. And what he meant was when I didn't even need money, I should be going to the bank and getting a line of credit, getting a loan, right? Kind of like building up your cash reserves, right? So now I want to talk to my mentor who got me. She gave me some really great advice about developing a relationship with your bank branch manager. Now, this is something I usually share one on one in my private home care Kickstarter program or mentorship program, but I believe this will help you today. So, what that means is that I would have checks maybe that were pending, they were posted, right? But they hadn't technically hit my account yet, right? And because I built a relationship with my bank, my my bank branch manager, I could talk to her about, hey, I have this coming up, and we just got this check. Can you cover me? Right? Can you cover me? And guess what? If let's say, for example, if I had 25,000 pending, Sean, I can cover you for 12,000. Okay, cover me for 12,000, right? That would shift my payroll, right? I would now go into my problem solving mode of how, okay, what do I need to, again, I didn't come from money, so I had to learn how to like problem solve, right? Make it work out. Maybe some people got paid on Friday, maybe some people got paid on Monday, right? All I know is that they continue to get paid. They continue to get paid, right? Because I was able to move things around and work with my bank bank branch manager. Then you can see, depending on how long you've been in business, if you can apply for a loan, right? If you need a loan, I prefer line of credits. Personally, I love line of credits, right? But if you need a loan, you want to get one before you're down to your last couple of thousands, right? And you want to use that as working capital, right? And they may not even give you as much as you want, right? You may want 50,000 and they may only give you 30, right? And so then you have to be very, very smart about how you're going to use that money. Don't go ham, make sure it's used as your cushion, because unfortunately with the loan, you're going to be paying that off, right? You start to make payments, right? But if you get a loan and then you're able to still have your money coming in, then you should also be building up some reserves with your money coming in from your profit. But I don't want to get to that's too deep for tonight. But um you should be checking your cash reserves. You can plan for slower payments. All right. Plan for slower payments. That's why I'm saying submit regularly. I had two mentees in Pennsylvania. They were having problems with an MCO, and they said, "You know what, Sean? We just started submitting every other day." Now, the average person would say, "Can we submit every other day?" Yes. They didn't even realize they could submit often. So they just started submitting every other day so that they would not run into these problems with their billing and getting reimbursed. Have you ever wondered have you ever wondered how some agencies promote that they pay daily? They're doing stuff like this. They have increased their frequency of billing. But that's like I said, I keep going down. Um, do you think it's wisdom to write a letter to the caregivers and family we serve stating, um, not yet. Okay, so the question on TikTok is, do you think it's wisdom to write a letter to the caregivers and families we serve stating, and I think it got cut off. I love where you're going, Janelle, but I want you to do some groundwork first. I love where you're going, but I want you to do some groundwork first. You've noticed a light slight today. Is that the same person? I want you to do some groundwork first, meaning I want you to go do your due diligence first. And then, guess what? I hope you guys have a regular communication with your clients or newsletter. Then you can share with them some of the things that you've put in place to make sure that services continue and that their caregiver will continue to get paid for the services that are being provided. So I think if you haven't found some possible resolutions yet, I would not send out the letter. I would not send out the memo. Okay. Now let me get back here so I don't forget. Okay. All right. So we said submit all claims ASAP. Verify your October authorizations, the ones that should be active, and then do the ones that will be need to be recertified. I want you to do those more in advance. If you can, try to do those a week or two in advance, right? Check your cash reserves, right? What do you currently have for in reserves for payroll, for your cushion? And then see if you can get more for working capital, right? All right. Now, if you are heavy on the Medicaid side, remember how I'm always showing you, if you got all your eggs in Medicaid, you got Medicaid eggs, Medicaid MCO, Medicaid waivers, and you don't have any eggs in any other from any other payers in your basket, you are going to have to pivot the hardest, right? Because people who have other payer sources can now lean on those payer sources and also market more to get more clients from those payer sources that are not affected. Well, we just said that you will not get there will not be any disruption to Medicare Advantage or Medicare and Medicaid payments, but they can be slower. But if you have other payer sources, then you can now leverage that you're getting income from other sources. You're getting reimbursement from other sources, right? It's called payer mix. Called payer mix, right? All right. You can consult with that. You can contact some of see if some of the programs that normally assist some of the seniors. For example, I know in November, one of the things we've been talking about in my end of the year home care marketing boot camp is November is a really, really, really big time for respite care. Are you guys familiar with respite care? If so, put respite in the comments, right? If you're familiar with respite care, put respite in the comments so I can know if you are familiar with that, right? And so some of those programs are the funding for some of those programs might be not available, right? Because some of those programs would be more on the chopping block than a regular Medicaid, Medicare. So you can call around again. Thursday and Friday, you are making calls. You're making calls, but guess what you're doing by you making those calls? You're acting like the CEO, right? This is what they call working on your business, not in your business. You're acting like the CEO. The CEO, the president, has to make these calls, has to find out how one of the jobs of a CFO is to make sure the business has enough money to operate. So the CEO can put on the CFO's hat and make sure the business has enough money to operate. That's why I said look into possibly getting a line of credit or loan, right? By the way, that was a good note. I would resist trying to get a loan from SBA, Small Business Association, right now because they're a part of the 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 shutdown. I'll just put it like that. So we're talking about other sources for lending. Okay. Then we can do what someone asks on TikTok. After you've done all of that, then we want to communicate to our families and caregivers. But make sure you're not um, communicating doom and gloom. That's why I said I need you guys to problem solve and to have some answers before you communicate because someone might feel like, well, dang, maybe I should go over to another agency. Maybe this agency is too small. And then you have a loss of client revenue. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So before I get to the questions again, Medicare and Medicaid will not be cut off. If you guys heard me in the back, can you write that? I want to make sure you guys know. If you heard me in the back, I want to make sure you heard me in the back. Will it be cut off or will it not be cut off? And I'm going to start looking at some of these questions. All right. So if you have a question, please post it in the comments. Okay. All right. And let me know, you guys, where you're watching me from. I'd like to know. All right. So I already addressed that someone had posted an E-Verify is down and no surveys are taking place right now. Absolutely. Kay Bossy said, how long is the shutdown going to be? We don't know. The Democrats don't even know. They don't have they're shut down until they come to an agreement. Hey, I'm new here from Connecticut. Hey, we just went over starting a homemaker companion agency in Florida and Connecticut. You can check that free informational video out on my Savvy Business Chick YouTube channel. And I'm coming up with something in the next week specifically for Florida and Connecticut. So if you are interested, make sure you reach out to us because I got a sweet deal for you guys. Angel said, I'm just getting started, have my LLC, my EIN. I'm so confused. All right. But what do I apply next? And what I don't know is what state you're in to tell you what to apply next because you need your license. Oh, Alabama. Oh, Alabama, there's no licensing requirement. Okay, first time viewer, thank you so much for joining. Guess what? Alabama does not have a licensing requirement, right? That means you can start providing services to people who are self-pay. But if you want to become a Medicaid provider, then you need to apply. And it might take them some time. Remember, because we said expect delays for them to process your application. Is it still worth it to submit it? Absolutely. I'm so overwhelmed trying to find private pay clients. Leticia, where are you located? Flower Gal, you would like to join the webinar? The free webinar, you click the link in the bio. You can watch it at any time on your schedule. How much do you think someone could make by housing for autistic 24/7? Number one, hey Clips TV. Number one, I don't do group homes. So I won't answer that question. Is there a loan program to buy a house or do home care, or does that matter? Hey Jazz Truth. I'm going to say what I just said before. I don't do group homes or assisted living. Home care does not mean you own a home and people come to your home. That is the wrong definition of home care. Home care means aging in place. That's the best way for you to understand home care. Whenever you see home care, aging in place, not your place, but their place. Okay, I just answered Angels. The link to the webinar is on, if you click the link in my bio, or if you go to my website, www.savvybusinesschick.com. Hello, how do I get an RN to apply GA license in Georgia? How do you get an RN to be on your Georgia application? If you don't know one, you have to hire one. Jazz Truth says the industry is oversaturated. That's because you haven't done any market research. That's not a true statement. I address that all the time when I come on live. Are you helping with credentialing like workers' comp? Yes. KT 56. We actually have a training on how to become credentialed with 3 workers' compensation companies. That actually is a really good supplemental payer right about now. Uh, that training, I'll post the link in my bio, but it's um, three insurance companies. They send you referrals for free. And we even teach you how to market and set up your website and your brochures to advertise those services. What should I do for you to help me? I don't understand that question. I just helped you by answering your question. Yours is non-medical. I would like to be up and running by April 1st. Is the event on November 8th helpful? Yes. Britt, where are you located? Because depending on where you're located, it depends on how long it will take them to process your application. Mary said, I love your question, Mary. Mary said, is adding Medicaid to a new home care business worth it right now? Yes. Why wouldn't it be worth it? Why wouldn't it be worth it? It goes back to my having more logs in the fire, more eggs in your basket, having multiple payer sources. I have a book, 15 ways your home health care agency can get paid, right? You don't want just one way to get paid, you want multiple ways to get paid. I reached a level of ten payers, 10 payers, 10 different payers. And I even had some clients who had at least 2 or 3 payers. Nobody tells you that. Mine's is a startup and I'm taking notes. This is good information. Thank you so much for taking notes. Real motivation. The comment did not pin, but we're talking about the government shutdown 2025 and how that does or does not help with how that does or does not affect the home care and home health care agencies. I do not help with finding RNs, AZAB on YouTube. And I already answered Janelle's question. Do you think it's wisdom to write a letter to the caregivers and families we're serving? And I said that was one of the things towards the end that your agency should do right now. Then she said, I've noticed a slight delay with MCE. Yeah. But you gotta, even if you notice a slight delay, I want you guys to call and ask questions. Don't just assume. I love my families. I'm always talking to them. I just like to inform because they look for that. All right. I don't know how many. I love it. I'm glad you do that. How many families do you have? And can we do that on a broader scale? Yep. The webinar covers policies and procedures, but I do not create the policies and procedures for you in that webinar. Do people pay me to assist with Medicare credentialing? If you're talking about Medicare in a traditional sense, Medicare Part A and Part B is you have to have a skilled agency and be a home health agency. I actually have a friend who's a doctor. I subcontract out Medicare credentialing to her because she did it for her agency. She's done it for like 75 people. She's actually supposed to be coming to the conference. All right. Once I get through these, oh, my big sister Pebbles. Once I get through these questions, I am jumping off, guys. So make sure you ask. What do you think about Georgia and Michigan? Queen. They're good states. Cleveland. Cleveland in the house. Texas in the house. Okay. You've already said that, Angel. But in Alabama, you don't need to get licensed if you're non-medical because they don't have a licensing requirement. Hello, mentor. Do you have a program that helps with social media accounts? Um, yes and no. Specifically, what do you need help with? Setting it up, running it. Indiana, Illinois in the house, Maryland in the house, Florida, Alabama. Yep, you got to go through the Secretary of State to get your business registered. If the site is confusing for you to register your business, you can always hire a resident agent. Yep. To sign up for my mentorship, you'll get some information at the end of that video. We currently are in our licensing program, mentorship program right now, and today is actually submission day. The webinar is for if you are starting a home care agency. I'm in Texas and currently starting up a PSA agency for special needs serving 0 to 21. Awesome. Awesome, Life of Monica. That sounds great. Yep, I do private mentorship. I'm in with OWCP, but not sure how to get referrals. That sounds like you don't know how to market. No, we don't offer that conference live because you could essentially take one of our programs. Just received your provisional license in Illinois. How soon could I get credentialed with third party payers? You can definitely start with the workers' comp credentialing. I'll post that shortly if you click the link in my bio. Right now we have our cancer marketing on sale. So give me some time to try to do something for you guys. That might be worth me putting that on sale as well. I feel like I've covered all of the questions. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are asking some really general questions. How long I get licensed? Because I don't know what state you are in. That is why I really feel like you should check out the video. It's called Starting a Home Care Agency. Watch this first. You need to watch that. What should we charge for a private pay? What should we charge for private pay with a part-time client in Indiana? What should you charge? What part of Indiana? See, all of these things are factors. I don't understand your comment. I understand you want to get paid. Just help everyone get to the first level so they can be successful. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm literally on here giving you free information. So I'm not understanding what you're saying, and I feel like you are being a little bit rude if that's what you're saying. You have no idea how much free information I give out on a daily basis. Let me see. After I give the rate for Indiana, I will be done. Okay. Because you didn't tell me what part. So I'll just give you some. Okay. And I currently have a mentee in Indianapolis doing 27, maybe now 32,000 a month. And she just started in March. Okay, so if you are in Evans, Indiana, you can charge $35 an hour. If you are in Bloomington, Indiana, you can charge $30 an hour. If you're in Columbus, Indiana, you can charge $31 an hour. If you're in Indianapolis area, you can charge $34 to $35 an hour. Moosey, Indiana, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, $31 to $34 an hour. Lafayette area, $32 an hour. This is for private pay. And Fort Wayne, you can charge $35 an hour. Okay. That's okay. You will always have someone on here that wants to challenge what we're doing. That's okay. All is well. So, if you came on late, I'm going to keep it up on YouTube. You can go on over to YouTube and check out the video from the beginning. Again, I just felt led to come on here to let you know what to do with the federal government shutdown 2025. Don't be worried. Be strategic. All is well. And if you are trying to get licensed, don't delay because it could take you longer to get your application approved. And if you are starting, go watch that free video. Right? I think it might be an hour and a half or something like that. And then you get a 21-step checklist with the video. Take care, guys. Bye. Bye, guys.